Welcome, my dear listeners. Stay with me to get the spoilers first and subscribe to the channel. Let's find out what's going to happen on The Bold and the Beautiful. Steffy fires Will and Electra after finding out a shocking secret. Secrets on The Bold and the Beautiful never stay small for long. They start as whispers, then turn into side glances, and then all of a sudden they turn into something that can bring down a whole business. The real spoiler trail is already showing that the Ivy, Electra, and Will mess is getting worse very quickly. According to CBS, Electra learns something about Ivy, Steffy challenges Electra and Ivy. And by April 22, Will and Electra are still angry about Ivy's manipulation and are thinking about whether Ivy should be punished at Forrester Creations. This is the perfect place for a twist like this. Steffy finds out that Will and Electra have been hiding something from her that could change everything at Forrester and make her feel personally betrayed. They might have been secretly planning against Ivy without her knowing. Maybe they have been pushing Ridge and Steffy to make a choice they never fully admitted to. They might be using the company's internal problems to push a personal agenda. Whatever the secret is, it comes out at the worst possible time for Steffy. When she feels like she is being used, she doesn't do this halfway. She goes down hard. That's why the firing works so well as a soap opera plot. Not because it is good, not because it is right, but only because it's Steffy. She is already known in the current spoiler as the woman who throws down the gauntlet when things get too messy between Electra and Ivy. She has been acting like Taylor's Steffy, Ivy's behavior, and the Forrester atmosphere are all things that need to be dealt with right away. The CBS episode guide says that on March 17, Steffy challenges Electra and Ivy, and on April 1st, she is already worried about Taylor's safety in the Deacon storyline. This shows the audience what kind of mood she is in: angry, productive, and ready to draw lines. In this made-up story, Steffy goes to Forrester Creations already tired of the drama, only to find out that Will and Electra haven't been as honest as they should have been. That is when the temperature starts to change. Steffy has been watching the younger people argue about Ivy's lies for weeks. The episode guides says that Daphne tells Ivy the truth must come out on April 13. Will and Electra are still mad at Ivy for lying and want her to pay for it on April 21st and 22nd. Steffy cannot ignore the betrayal any longer. If she finds out that Will and Electra have been hiding things as much as they have been judging them. And since soap opera justice is never kind, Steffy doesn't just talk to them. She takes away their access. She lets them go, not because she suddenly loves Ivy, but because she thinks the old things is a betrayal of trust. The shocking secret of Steffy isn't just what they kept from her, it's that they thought they could play the company, the family, and her without any consequences. Steffy hates that kind of arrogance more than anything else, and the current spoilers show that there is already tension. CBS says that Electra and Will deal with their relationship on their own. RJ and Will's anger grows, and Electra and Will stay at the center of the Forrester chaos. The best part of this twist is that it lets Steffy go from defender to executioner in the one quick move. The official episode guide is already shown her standing up to Electra and Ivy, and the whole story is based on what happens after Ivy steals the letter. CBS says that on April 2nd, Electra finds out something about Ivy, and the effects are still being felt in the company on April 22nd. That means the conditions are already right for a much bigger explosion. Steffy can frame the firing as a clean-out if she finds out that Will and Electra have been hiding part of the truth. There will be no more games, alliances, or private agendas inside her company. Will's shocked response would be the most emotional part of it. He is already trying to keep up with the growing competition between Ivy, RJ, Dylan, and Electra. The CVS guide says that Will and Electra talk about their relationship on February 20. Will is shocked to learn why Dylan moved out on February 11, and by March 16, Will's anger toward RJ is growing. That means Will is already feeling the heat before Steffy fake firing happens. If he lost his job at Forrester because of a secret, it would hurt him professionally and be embarrassing in front of Electra. It would hurt even more to hear Electra's side of the story. The current spoilers show that she learns something about Ivy, confronts Ivy, and then later has to decide whether Ivy should be fired or punished. The serial spoiler for April 22nd says that Will and Electra might agree that Ivy should be punished for everything she has done to them and that Electra cannot work with Ivy anymore. In this made-up story, that logic doesn't work. Steffy thinks that the people who are trying to punish Ivy are also part of the problem, so she makes them pay for keeping it a secret. That kind of change is just like what happens on Bold and the Beautiful. A character thinks they are about to win justice, but then they realize they have been hiding too much to be able to claim the moral high ground. Steffy's made-up choice to fire Will and Electra would hit harder because the company is already in a bad place. The CVS guide says that on March 13, Brooke and Ridge interrupt Katie's press conference. Ridge tells RJ not to bring his personal life to work on April 15, and Brooke tells RJ to follow his heart on April 14. This week's mood is all about personal drama, professional consequences, and no clear line between the two. The shocking secret itself would probably be something simple that would be very bad. Will and Electra may have known Ivy's truth before they said they did. Maybe they secretly agreed to put pressure on Steffy and Ridge to get rid of Ivy. They might have used the company and their access to set up a situation that they couldn't later control. The exact words of the secret don't matter as much as the betrayal it shows. Steffy would read it like this: Will and Electra wanted the same punishment for Ivy, but they didn't trust her enough to tell her the truth about what they were doing. That is the kind of thing that can make a boss act like an executioner. And Steffy has already been written as a woman who won't let people get away with this kind of thing. The March 17 CBS episode says that she throws down the gauntlet with Electra and Ivy, which is basically a warning that she is ready to make a decision about who stays and who goes. The April 22nd serial spoiler also says that Electra might push Steffy and Ridge to fire Ivy soon. This makes the idea of Steffy turning the firing back on Will and Electra seem like a brutal but believable twist. Steffy could use the younger couple's own secrecy against them if they thought they would get justice. Of course, Ridge would be the one trying to keep the room from falling apart. The CBS episode guide says that Ridge told RJ not to bring his personal life to work on April 15. This means that he is already acting as the family's voice of caution. In this made-up story, Ridge would probably try to say that Will and Electra meant well, that Steffy is overreacting, or that everyone should calm down. But when Steffy decides she cannot trust Ivy anymore, she stops being about Ivy and starts being about loyalty. The Bold and the Beautiful likes to live in a place where business decisions are really family-owned in a suit. This twist would also give Ivy even more freedom to do what she wants. The current spoilers make it clear that she is the cause of the drama. Will and Electra are angry with her of manipulating them, and Electra is pushing for her to be fired. If Steffy fires Will and Electra instead, Ivy could easily take advantage of the situation, at least for a little while. Soap writers love that kind of irony. The person who caused the problem gets away with it, while the people who were trying to fix it get blamed. The CBS episode from April 2nd says that Electra learns something about Ivy, and the CBS episode from April 13 says that Daphne makes it clear that the truth must come out. That means that the secret is already out there enough to ruin careers, but not clean enough to win back trust. The real emotional logic of the story is simple. Steffy is sick of being manipulated, sick of the side deals, and sick of seeing younger characters use Forrester creations as a place to get back at each other. The verified spoilers say that the company is already fighting over Ivy, with Will and Electra wanting her to be punished and Electra possibly pushing for her to be fired. That makes Steffy's fake counter-strike feel like a soap opera. She doesn't just stand up for Ivy, she punishes everyone who thought they could outsmart her. That's what makes the story so good. It takes the current spoiler energy, Will's anger, Ivy's manipulation, Electra's outrage, Steffy's hardline and Ridge's caution, and pushes it to the most dramatic end possible. In the version of events, Will and Electra believe they are finally winning the fight against Ivy. Steffy, on the other hand, sees them hiding the truth, decides they are just as bad as the person they are trying to expose, and fires them both in one cold sweep. That isn't the real episode guide. It is the most ruthless what if in the story that the show is already telling. And this is where the story stops being about right and wrong. It starts being about power. Because what Steffy Forrester does at that moment isn't justice, it's control. And honestly, that's what makes it feel so real and so dangerous. Because when a leader feels betrayed, they don't always look for truth. They look for loyalty, and if Will Spencer and Electra Forrester crossed that invisible line, even with good intentions, they were always going to pay for it. But here's the part that really sticks with me. What if Steffy didn't just overreact? What if she just showed everyone exactly who's in charge? Because firing them doesn't fix the problem, it silences it. And when the truth gets silenced, it doesn't disappear, it waits. That's why I think this moment could backfire in a huge way. Because pushing Will and Electra out might not end the war with Ivy Forrester, it might actually give her more room to play the game. And if Ivy really is as manipulative as the story suggests, then Steffy may have just removed the only people willing to challenge her. Now that's a risky move. So the real question isn't just about the firing, it's about what comes next. Will Will and Electra stay quiet or come back with something even bigger? And when Steffy finally realizes she may have punished the wrong people, will it already be too late to fix it? Because if there's one thing this show always proves, it's that the truth doesn't stay buried. It comes back louder, messier, and a lot more personal. So what do you think? Did Steffy make the right call as a leader, or did she just start a chain reaction she won't be able to control? Because something tells me this ending is really just the beginning of a much bigger fallout.